My name's Father Andrew Woodward. I'm the vicar of St Mary's Church in Kemp Town. It's a large Victorian church in a challenging but a very creative area of Brighton. We look forward very much to welcoming Sarah as our deacon designate in a few weeks' time. So very warm welcome to you, Sarah. Perhaps you'd just like to say a little bit about your vocational journey and how you've come to be at this place.
I would very much like to tell you, yes. I've had an unconventional journey, I think you could say. Although I've always had a deep love of Jesus, who's been my role model since I was a child, I didn't grow up as a practicing Christian. And I had an epiphany when I was a young student nurse, looking after an elderly lady who, as she died, had an extraordinary experience of God's love and joy and peace, which was absolutely unexpected and overwhelming, and completely changed my life and started me on a spiritual search.
Thank you very much. All very exciting, and we're very excited too at St Mary's. So look forward to having you with us. So just a little bit, sort of, bringing us up to date a bit. I mean, lockdown. How's that been for you in sort of preparing for this and things? How's it been the last, however long it is now, since March? We're now in June, aren't we?
Yeah, it's long. Well, it's been, I guess it's a challenge. It's been a challenge. It's been not to be ordained in June. That's been tricky. That's a challenge. Not finishing college off as I would have liked. Everything's online now. In a strange way, I've had to organise my life, which I know everybody's had to put some structure into it. So finding a time for prayer, for study, for work, and for play. It feels a bit Benedictine in a way. I've got quite a lot of structure, and I've had to dig kind of deeper, and that's been a good part of it. Yeah. How about you?
I think. Well, I think for me it's been the challenge of sort of managing priorities across quite a demanding parish, and being Royal Dean as well. There's 25 churches in the deanery, and I think it's been sort of carving out time. How do I carve out time, like you've said, like me time, through sort of relentless phone calls and on screen, and then after being on screen, then Zoom meetings that come along as well. You can't really escape from a Zoom meeting. So I think it's the challenges of being actually finding that quiet balance and ensuring that all the days don't just roll into one big block. I think that's been the challenge. So yes, that's the last few weeks. Your hopes and concerns. What do you think? How would you name sort of the next 12 months? What your hopes and concerns might be ahead?
Well, I'm so excited about getting involved at St Mary's with your vibrant congregation. So that's, I can't wait for that. I'm very excited about being ordained. And I guess the concerns are, the responsibility that comes with that.
I think, in general, also my hopes are that we might learn something from this sort of terrible pandemic, that we might actually move beyond to be a more sort of caring community as a humanity. And we've seen, the racism protests as well, with George Floyd coming all at the same time. I think in a sense as teaching us that something's going to change, and how do we react as a church? I mean, how do we go forward, and how do we put beyond ourselves perhaps the sort of internal struggles that we have as an institution, and instead to begin to build much greater bridges of trust and of hope for the future? What single thing do you think, Sarah, gives you hope for the future of Christianity in Britain today?
Well, Jesus said, "I am with you always." And I really feel, as you said, it's about perhaps a different model of church, and that as we go out of our buildings, which we are forced to be at the moment, you know, I feel that Jesus is right there showing us new ways, inspiring us to be creative and to reach out, work with other charities, work with other churches. We have to be creative about how we use our spaces so that we can share the good news of the gospel. And I feel passionate that we can do that, and that's what gives me hope.
I think that's bang on, really. I think in terms of how we work with each other, how we build partnerships with others, we can't do everything ourselves, how we might build partnerships with other organisations as well as different churches. And I think the parish model is also just a brilliant one, really, in terms of enabling that sort of priestly function to be seen on the streets, to be out and about, to be speaking with people. I know we walked together down St James's Street, and just how lovely it is, to just engage with people in their daily lives. And that's what it's about, I think, bringing the love of Christ into those situations, and for the church to be that hub and centre of hope and of light for the future. And just finally, how can the diocese be praying for each of us? How can the diocese be praying for you, Sarah?
Oh, that's such a lovely, lovely, lovely thought. For my well-being, for my ministry, as I go into St Mary's, for those relationships of trust and to build, for our relationship to grow into one of trust and respect and understanding. I think I feel that we're off to a good start.
I think I'd say, similar things, really. How we support you in this transition from being an ordinand into curacy in these difficult times, really. I think they are challenging times, and how we now just in the next few days sort of learn what it means to open our churches again for private prayer, and all that means in terms of keeping people safe and making sure we've got volunteers. And yes, it's a challenge, and I think some of us thought it was going to be later, like the beginning of July, and here it comes possibly towards the middle of June. So prayers for that transition, I think, for all of us. And I think it's lovely that you're joining us at this time. That is a time of transition when we're beginning to go back. So Sarah, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, and may God bring all your hopes and your dreams to fruition. Thank you.
Amen.